something. But I'm telling you, Joe, if she doesn't start behaving, I don't know how much longer I can tolerate her.
Just keep her alive, Madam Sabi. Just keep her alive. We'll figure out the rest when the heat dies down. Please.
Well, all right. I'll handle it. We'll talk later.
All right, bye.
And you, what are you doing standing like a log of wood, listening to my conversation? You don't have anything useful to do with your time? Now go and give Zuriel some food, but not too much, just enough to keep her alive.
Okay, ma. Madam Sabi, Zuriel, she's gone. No, the room's empty.
What? What? How is that even possible? She was locked in.
I don't know, madam. You left the door open when you answered the phone call, ma.
And you stood there on your senses and didn't see the need to lock the door behind me? I have always known that you are a bad luck. Where did I even pick you from? Find her now. She can't have gone far. If she gets out and talk.
Join us next week for another edition of I Wish I Knew Radio Drama. I Wish I Knew Radio Drama is brought to you by Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking, MACARD, in partnership with National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and funded by the Denmark Embassy, Nigeria.
Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another episode, another day to get to talk about the issue of human trafficking in our society and how we all can be agents of change to ensure that we rid our communities, we rid our streets of perpetrators of this evil and wicked act, which is human trafficking. This is I Wish I Knew radio program and drama brought to you by MICAT in partnership with NAPTIP and also with support from the Danish Embassy and of course with support from Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, the radio experience you can always count on this program. We talk about the issue of human trafficking and how we can break the circle. We talk about building sustainable freedom for people and how we all can collaborate in this effort to ensure that we get success, we get victory at the end of the day. My name is Diltu Joan and I will be your host for today. But I am not alone. I'm being joined by someone really amazing, someone who would, shed more light into the topic we have for today. We have Vera Roli Ibinadolo on the line. She is the National Liaison Officer and Head of Operations, Girls Power Initiative, Abuja. A very good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, I am doing well. Hope you are doing well.
I'm doing so well. It's such a pleasure to have you join us today.
The pleasure is all mine.
All right.
Thank you for the invite too.
No, it's with pleasure, ma'am. So today with Vera on the line, we're going to be talking about victim-centered approach to justice. We're going to be exploring the importance of prioritizing victim needs and safety in the justice process. All right, so Ms. Vera, let's start this way. Can you explain what a victim-centered approach to justice is and why it is actually important in today's legal system?
Okay, thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, ma'am.
A victim-centered approach to justice actually prioritizes the need, the safety, and the dignity of victims throughout the justice processes. It's this approach actually recognizes that the victims are victims of crime, and they are not criminals.
Yeah.
This approach recognizes them as victims and victims of crime, and they often experience trauma.
Yeah.
They experience fear. They experience vulnerability, and also seek to address these concerns while we are assuring accountability and fairness for the offender. And you are asking why?
Yeah.
Why is it important that we prioritize the victim-centered approach to justice?
Yeah.
Yes. For me, I think number one, why we prioritize the victims' needs is number one, they have to have trauma-informed care, because these victims are actually coming from a space where they are traumatized.
Yeah.
They are traumatized by their experiences, they are traumatized by their perpetrators, they are traumatized by the offenders. So there must be victim, there must trauma-informed care, especially for those persons that would interact or interface with them. You should know that these are actually victims of human trafficking.
Yeah.
They are not the offenders. Yes. Then also improving justice outcomes. Victims need and they feel that they need to be seen, they need to be heard, their rights need to be respected, they need to be supported throughout the justice processes, the justice process.
Yeah.
Yes. And they must have the feeling that offenders are persecuted and victims would they will receive justice that they so desire, they so want, and there must be more effective justice processes. And we should also seek to reduce re-traumatization of these victims of human trafficking by addressing systematic issues.
Yeah.
Yes. And also ensure that among the law enforcement agencies, the legal system, and also the organizations that would render this assistance, and there should be improved communication amongst all of these bodies.
Yes,
Thank you. I hope I was able to answer your question very well.
Yes, ma'am, you did. And we're going to talk about challenges, but quickly, you said something about systematic issues. I don't know what are some of those systematic issues that you think are a hindrance to, this approach.
Yes. Number one, oftentimes we that are the CSOs, we do not persecute. So we have to bring in the police, we have to bring in the NAPTIP. We cannot do all this all by ourselves. Then you bring in the justice system. We cannot do this all by ourselves. You are going to the police station and maybe they are interfacing with the police people, they are interfacing with immigration officers, and if they are not informed on trauma, if they do not have trainings on trauma-informed care, you see them make statements like, now me send you go where you go, and these persons are being treated as criminals instead of being seen as the actual victims of trafficking, because sometimes it's not even their fault.
Absolutely.
So most times they see them, as offenders instead of victims. So that's one of it. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. So now let's talk about challenges now. What are some of the biggest challenges victims face when it comes to seeking justice? And then how can we address them?
Okay. For me, I think number one is emotional trauma. These persons are victims that they are coming from a place where they are traumatized, and they experience PTSD, they experience anxiety, they experience fear, fear in making difficult, fear in navigating the justice system. So when you meet them, when you are saying, let's try to speak up, let's persecute these people, let's take you to the court. Understand that these people, it takes a process. They are coming from a place of fear. They are coming from a place of intimidation. They are coming from a place where they are scared. So you have to walk them through the process. You should know that these people they are traumatized. Then also there must be support. The support is not enough. Emphasize on this 1,000 times. We have to continue speaking about it. There has to be support. Support services as counseling and advocacy, like what we do, what NAPTIP is doing so much. But I think sometimes NAPTIP is even overwhelmed that all hands have to be on deck. Not only NAPTIP doing all this, not only the civil society organizations. It has to be all encompassing. It has to be everybody trying to see how these people they gather support. Then also, I think intimidation and retaliation. They are afraid that they can be the offenders can retaliate because some of them. Sometimes, before they travel, they take oaths, they make promises, they make them do a whole lot of things that they'll tell you, if you speak up, I'm going to kill your family. Even if I go to the prison, someone else is going to come after you, And they know that this thing, we are not dealing with only one person. We are dealing with a larger what would I call it? You are dealing with a larger ring of people. So that fear of intimidation and retaliation is there. Then also they look at the justice system. Am I going to get justice? Am I not going to get justice? The complexity of the justice system makes them feel as if this thing, I don't think I should push it because I don't understand what's going on, and our justice system sometimes it takes a whole long time before offenders are being persecuted. And lastly, I think limited access to resources. The victims will lack access to resources such as legal aid, counseling, and financial support. Sometimes the financial support is not enough. It's not enough. Yes.
Well, ma'am, you actually mentioned something about, the work getting overwhelming, for individual organizations. And, you mentioned that there's the aspects for law, there's the CSOs, then we have NAPTIP and all of those, people. How can law enforcement agencies, how can the judiciary, how can supporting organizations all work together to prioritize victim safety and well-being?
Okay. For me, number one is true collaboration. There must be proper collaboration amongst these persons. Because number one, you have to look at the victim's safety. Before anything, the victim's safety comes first. Before anything, there should be multi-agency partnerships amongst the law enforcement agencies, the judiciary, and also the CSOs, and when there's collaboration, they will be able to share information freely. They will be able to coordinate efforts. There will be no duplication of efforts. And also regular communication among them, make them update information. When one gets information, the others, they know, we are all working towards same goal. You understand? And and when that is done, they ensure a comprehensive understanding of the victim's situation. Then also training and education, especially on trauma-informed care. It is very, 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 very important. Then we should also, the agencies, the law enforcement agencies, the judiciary, and the CSO should always approach these victims with the mind that they are important. Victim-centered approach is very, very important. They should have that education first before anything. Then the victims also should have access to these support services, like I said earlier on. There should be access. Should not be limited. It should not be too small. It should be sufficient. Then also community engagement is very, very important. Like what we do in Natal, what we do in my organization, and MICAT also does that through their movies. I've seen a whole lot of their movies. public education, community outreaches, sensitization work. Just that's to mention a few. Then also policy and procedure development, which these policies should be reviewed and should be revised regularly to ensure that they are effective.
All right. Okay. All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for, all of this. And it's actually very important. And, when we learn to work together, I think it makes the work easier for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
compared to when we're working, as individuals.
In isolation.
Yes. Yeah. So when it comes to policies now and legal reforms, what policies and reforms are needed to ensure a more victim-centered approach in our justice system?
Like, for me, it's always about the victim support, victim rights support. It should be strengthened. The victim's rights should be strengthened. We should ensure that victims have a formal role in the justice system. If you carry them along, trust me, they feel they have this sense of belonging. That yes, I really got justice. I fought for this and I got this.
Yeah.
And also trauma-informed practices, trauma-informed training for professionals on trauma-informed practices to better understand the victim's needs, because each victim need is different from the next victim need. It's not just one shoe fits all. We should know that each victim has their different needs. Then also data collection and research is very, very it's very important. Data collection, victim data collection. There should be improved data collection on victim experiences and outcomes, so that it informs the policy and practice.
Yeah.
Of
very true.
yes. Then also research and evaluation. Research and evaluation should be conducted regularly. Evaluation should be done regularly for effectiveness of victim-centered approaches to identify the best practices. Yes.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Especially when it comes to data, actually. Sometimes when we have enough data to work with, I feel it even makes the work easier. We know what to cover, we know what to do. But just quickly, Ma, do you think it's something that we've done so well now when it comes to data collection, as far as this matter goes?
I don't think we've done so well. I don't think we've done so well. But NAPTIP, I would always bring in NAPTIP. NAPTIP is doing so much.
Yeah.
NAPTIP is doing wonderfully well. And I would always commend NAPTIP. NAPTIP is doing so much, but I don't think we've done so much because there are still victims that we've not actually documented their experiences. We do not have their data and all that. Yes, I don't think we've done so well in that regard.
Noted. And hopefully those who have to, be actively involved in this are listening to us right now to know that we actually need more work done. And it doesn't matter, how much effort has been put in. If we're not getting a lot of results, then there's still some work to be done. And so now, Ma, let's talk about steps now. Let's talk solutions. What steps can communities and individuals take to advocate for support for victims and, in their pursuit of justice?
For one, for me, is raising awareness. Awareness raising, like I said, it could come as community sensitization things too. Having their meetings, their town hall meetings and all. Using that to amplify victim stories, amplifying victims' voices, so that you know that it's not something that is foreign. It's not something that is happening outside the shores of Nigeria, but it is something that is actually happening within our community that is not far from us. So they have to come together to educate the public on victims' rights and support services. Let them know, because when they know that you've gone abroad and you come and you are a victim of trafficking, the next thing they begin to look at you with a certain kind of way. They make fun of you and all that. No, rather they should educate them on victims' rights and support services actually for those victims. Then also they should support these victims by listening to their stories without judging them. You should put on the face of empathy. You should not look at them and say, "Oh, it's your fault." You should listen to their stories without judging them and provide emotional support when it is necessary. Then also advocate for victims' rights. Victims too, they have rights. They are victims. They are not criminals. So they have rights, and these rights too should be protected. Then also influencing policy and practices, participate in advocacy campaigns, support victims, centered organizations, and all that. Like they can support NICAT, for example, support GPI, for example, support NACTAL, support NAPTIP, by protecting the rights of these victims, and also support trauma-informed practices.
Well, we have been looking at victim-centered approach to justice, and this is as regards the issue of human trafficking. And we always emphasize on this program that it is a big issue, it is a big problem to our society right now. And now we're thinking solutions, and we've been talking to Vera. And she has been, pointing out more light or shedding more light on, how victim-centered approach can be a way of prioritizing the victims we have around us and how we can ensure they get justice at the end of the day. So yes, this is still Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, and we are the radio experience you can count on. This program is I Wish I Knew radio program and drama, and is brought to you by MICAT. And before we go, Madam Vera, I would like you to quickly maybe share in, some final thoughts you have for us today.
Please come again. I did not hear that.
I'm asking if you have any final thoughts you would like to share with us, because we're fast running out of time, so we might have to let you go soon.
Okay. Victims of human trafficking are actually victims. They are not offenders. We have to treat them with love. We have to treat them with care.
And respect.
We have to show our support, not only for the victims, but also for CSOs around our communities that actually support these victims. Thank you.
I like the fact you added that last part though, ma'am, because sometimes I feel people that do the work don't get appreciated as much. So we would also like to use this opportunity to tell you well done and thank you, because we know you are part of those at the forefront. Thank you so much for your efforts.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. Bye. All right, and to you, our listener, before we go, this is just to encourage you that if you know someone or if you are someone, and do not hesitate to find help. We're always here. I would share MICAT's helplines with you so you can take it down, write it down somewhere, and always reach them or reach out if you have any information. So the number to call for MICAT is 070 37 12308. Again, I take the number 070 37 51 2308. Again, 070 37 51 2308. You can use that number to reach out to MICAT if you know someone or if you are someone that needs help around the issue of human trafficking. Also, you can always send us a message and we will direct you to the needed or to the authorities that are responsible to take care of the situation for you. So send us a WhatsApp message or a text message to 090 97 05 4450 090 97 05 4450. Remember, alone you can't stand. You need the entire community, you need the entire family, and that is why we're here to hold our hands and to encourage ourselves as we kick against the issue of human trafficking in our society for ourselves and for the people we love. Special shout out to Mikat for bringing this program, and also NAPTIP, and also thanks to the Danish Embassy for funding this program, and of course to Eagles 102.3 FM for bringing this program your way. Until we come again next week, same time, same station, from 10 to 10:30 right here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja every Saturdays. I'm leaving all my love with you. Do not touch that dial. Keep listening.
This is Eagles 102.3 FM.